skipping that this coming year, and we are going to be doing a series of workshops instead. So there's a meditation workshop, a breathwork workshop, and an inversion skill work workshop. And Debbie Dower is also teaching the restart class on January 1st. So instead of doing like a regular JIP, it's more of like a detox flow from 10 to 12, and it's super fun, and she's super excited to teach it because she hasn't taught it in a while. So if you're curious about that and want to get signed up, we can do that after class. Let's get started in child's pose. A Christmas flow. I like that. I like that. So you can sweat a lot here and then go to Philomena's class and do like a wind down, basically. It's no, definitely not. It's good stuff. Okay, child's pose for right now. We'll do the sweaty part of that twofer. Spread your fingers nice and wide, press them down into the mat, and let your hips settle way back onto your heels. So a few of you that I haven't seen for a while, it's good to see you back in the space. And some of you have been coming the entire time, so welcome. Take a deep breath in through your nose and fill yourself up. Exhale everything out. 2 more like that. A big breath in. Big exhale out. Last one. Fill up all. Empty all the way. And start to build your Ujjayi breath, your 4-part breath with an inhale and a pause at the top and an exhale with a pause at the bottom. Especially this time of year when things start to get colder and things start to get tighter and there's less space for you to take bigger inhales. There's less space for you to push the air out on the exhale. Put your attention on that now. Downward facing dog. Keep building the breath, move it around, take stock of how much space you've got to work with tonight. At least how much space you're coming into the practice with from this down dog. And walk your feet up to your hands, hang in ragdoll. Pull a pit of your belly way in and up and sink the center of both of your heels straight down into the mat. Heavy and grounded. Rise all the way up to standing. Reach through your fingertips. Bring your thumbs to heart center. Set your intention for your practice. Pick one specific thing you want to stay focused on. And we'll send out those intentions with 3 ohms. Deep breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull if you've got weights. High push up and pause. Tap your right knee to your right elbow. Your left knee to your left elbow. Low push up or lower all the way down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 big breaths together. In, empty it out. Breathe in. Exhale. Good. 1 more like that. Push all the air back out. Look forward and move. Feet to hands. Way lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Extended mountain. A long breath all the way up to your fingers. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Empty it out. Full inhale, expand. Empty out. Last one, fill. Exhale completely. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Extended mountain, rise up. Lift up through your chest. Forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap. Knee tap. low push-up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Empty it out. Breath number 2. Exhale. Last one. Push all the air out to the pit of your belly. Jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Extended mountain. One more sunny. Look up. Forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High plank. The breath sounds awesome. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Big breath out. Fingertips down on the floor. Breath in. Exhale. One more. Empty completely. Step or jump. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose and stay. Keep the breath flowing. Sit way back in your hips. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Send your tailbone down and back to the back edge of your mat. Nice, Jessica. One more breath here. Hands to heart twist right. Inhale, open your arms. Stay and breathe out. Back to chair pose. Inhale. Twist left on your exhale. Breathe in and open. Stay for the twist. Chair pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Pull. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior 1. Step through. One big breath to reach up to the ceiling. Chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left side, warrior 1. Step the whole breath up to your fingertips. Chaturanga. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Breath in together. Empty it out. Full inhale. Purposeful exhale. One more. Empty completely. Step or jump. Lift. Fold down. Chair pose, one breath. Reach. Twist right on your exhale. Inhale and open. Stay and breathe out. Good. Chair pose. Reach. Twist left. Inhale, open. Stay and breathe out. Chair pose. Fold. Halfway lift. Tricep. Plank. Tap. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior 1 on the right. Take a big step forward. Knee right over your ankle. Good. Chaturanga. Hands to the floor. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior 1. Big long inhale all the way up. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Breathe in together. Push the air out. Breath in. Breath out. Steady and smooth. One more. Empty completely. Step or jump. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Sit deep. Twist right. Inhale to open. Stay and twist. Chair pose. Twist left. Open on the breath in. Stay for the breath out. Chair pose. Fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Press the fingers into the mat. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior 1 on the right. Stack the knees. Stretch up and out of your pelvis. Low push up. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior 1. Step. Plug your big toe mounds down. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Breathe in together. Empty it out. Full breath. Big exhale. Last one. Empty to the pit of your belly. Move forward. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Sit deep. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay and breathe out. Chair pose. Twist left. Inhale, open. Stay and push the air out. Chair pose. Fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High push up. You got it. Pit of the belly in. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one on the right. Deepest one yet on this side. Stretch all the way up. Hey, Ratana. Chaturanga. Hands to the floor. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Opposite foot. Last one on the left. Stretch all the way up. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Send your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. Pause right here and slow down that breath, that steady, rhythmic Ujjayi breath. Intentional and on purpose. Stay here or flip your dog. Go all the way over. Press both feet straight down into the floor and then start to invite more space across the top of your chest so your collarbones can get wider. Yes, Tyler, like that. Flip back over, side plank, right hand down, left hand up to the sky. You can have a weight in that top hand if you want. If you've got the weight in the top hand, make sure to stack the joints, your wrist over your elbow, over your shoulder. Yes, Elise, just like that. Beautiful. Now, flex your ankles and spread your toes. One more inhale here. High to low push-up you go. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. Pause and breathe. Know that no matter what pose you're taking, no matter how challenged you feel, you still have the breath to fall back on. Stay or flip your dog. Steady breath. Wide space across your collarbone so the inhales are more full. It can fill all of the space in your lungs. Beautiful. Flip back over, side plank. In the top hand or an open palm. One thing at a time. Fingertips on the floor, into the mat. Press. Flex the ankles and spread your toes. Last inhale together. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Exhale it out. Full breath. Exhale. Last one. Empty it out. Right side crescent lunge. Step through. Start with your back knee on the ground for this one. Yeah, back knee on the ground. So take up a lot of space on your mat so that you can stack your front knee right on top of your front ankle. Good. Hands can be on your hips or hands up in the air. You choose. I want to play around with your pelvis a little bit. So lift the front of your pelvis up to your belly button. Yeah, huge difference. And maybe that's creating more of a stretch in the front of your left thigh. Tuck your toes on the back foot if they're not tucked. Slowly press up to full crescent lunge. Press, press, press into both feet. Now notice if you started to spill the front of your pelvis forward, can you lift it back up and drop your tailbone straight to the mat? Good. Keep that intact. Hands to heart center. Twist right. Resist the urge to let the pelvis spill forward when you twist. You can keep your palms together or open up your arms. Good. Come back to the breath. You can keep the front of the pelvis up and still have the breath full in the top parts of your chest. One more inhale here. Stay for the exhale and twist. Then warrior two. Up and around, land on your feet. Once you've got the feet situated in your warrior two, come back to the pelvis. Front of it up towards your belly button. Nice, Marlena. Then tailbone straight to the floor. Lunge deeper in your front leg. Yeah. Extended side angle. Elbow to thigh or fingertips by your arch. Add more breath. Take a half bind. Top arm behind your back. Stay low in that lunging leg. If the full bind is available for you, go ahead and take that, but keep the space in your chest. If taking that full bind is sacrificing space in your chest, stick with the half bind instead. One more inhale. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Whew. Left side crescent lunge. Start with the back knee down. A big step. So the knee's already on top of your ankle, and you don't even need to move that front leg whenever you press up to the full crescent, but work on the pelvis, front of the pelvis up to your belly button to create a long line of stretch already in your right leg, right in the front of that right leg. Tuck the toes on the back foot. You can keep a little bit of bend in the back knee if you need it. Rise up. Keep the front of the pelvis up to the belly button. Yes. If a bend in the back knee keeps a neutral pelvis, awesome. Keep a bend in the back knee. Hands to heart. Left. Don't let it spill forward. Keep it gathered into center. Palms can stay together. Open your arms. And if you can't hear your neighbor breathing, breathe louder. Bring them back into the practice with you. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. Twist the whole thing out. Warrior two. Feet first. Settle what's touching the ground, and then put the attention on a neutral pelvis. Front of the pelvis up to the belly button. So it might feel a lot like, whoa, I feel like I'm tucking this way too much. Play around with it and find the sweet spot in between. Extended side angle. Steady rhythmic ujjayi breath. Take your half bind, maybe the full bind if that's there. The bind is there to open up space in your shoulders and around your shoulder joints, not to make the pose more challenging for the sake of making it more challenging. Last inhale together. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Empty it out. Breath in. Breath out. There it is. One more. Clear it all the way. Step or jump, feet to hands. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Down and back into it. Find the space where your legs start to kick on. The muscles in your legs start to hug into your leg bones to keep you up. Hands to heart, twist right. Spread your arms apart. Spread your fingertips apart. Good. Now everybody sit 2 inches lower and lift your chest 2 inches higher. Yes, beautiful. Stay right here. 5, 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Chair pose. Hold. First 2 fingers around your big toes. That's what it's about. You're coming up to the edge of the thing, going right to the edge of your experience. Okay, and now doing a counter pose. Squeeze the muscles into the bone. Okay, now stretch them back out. Release your hands. Take crow pose from the head of your mat. A strong base. Each one of your fingertips and the edges of your thumbs down into the mat. Gaze out in front of your fingertips. So you have room to shift forward and then pull everything in and up. Nice, Charles. Yes, Tyler, where the space in your upper back, yes, Philomena, is starting to spread open between your shoulder blades. One more breath. Step or jump, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Clear it. Breath in. Empty. One more. Exhale completely. Move forward. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Down. Chair pose and stay. Down and back, down and back. Far enough that you can lift and spread your toes off the floor. Hands to heart twist left. Spread your arms apart. The lower you sit in your hips, the more room you have to lift your chest. Yeah, Nanette, like that. So there's plenty of room to expand. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chair pose. Fold. Step on your palms, gorilla. Toes up to your wrists and let your head hang. Let it be easy. If your breath got away from you, that's okay. Restart it here. Purposeful with that 4-part breath. Crow number 2. If you'd like to take a variation of crow, you're welcome to do that. We'll spend a couple more breaths here. So if you're in crow and then want to put your feet down for a breath or two and then back up into crow, you've got time. Inversions, now is a good time. Practicing jumping back from chaturanga, now is a good time. Beautiful. Lots of awake feet. I like that. Nice, Lily. Squeeze the inner edges of your feet together. Yes. How's your breath from here? No matter where you're working, how is the breathing? Last breath together. Step or jump, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Sigh it out. Louder than that, though. Breath in. Yeah, one more. Clear it. Step or jump, feet to hands. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Rise up to standing. Eagle pose, right side. Right arm under, right leg over. You got it. Wrap, squat down. Squeeze into center. Different from just squeezing the muscle straight in. It's more of a wrapping, like it's a snake that's wrapping around something and squeezing in at the same time. There's a sense of coiling in towards center instead. Left side eagle, left arm under, left leg over. Coil into center. If you're not a fan of snakes, same thing with a spring. It's wrapping and tightening in towards center. Steady breath. Right side eagle, second set. I love the attention to detail. You guys are taking more time to transition from one pose to the next instead of rushing to it. Keep your arms bound. Take airplane with your legs. Arms stay bound. Airplane with your legs. With your arms bound, can you reach them a little further forward? Yeah, huge difference. Full airplane. Reach your arms back behind you and keep pressing through that lifted foot. Press it to the back of the room. Half moon, left hand to the floor or your block. Right arm up to the sky. You could work on getting light on those bottom fingertips, maybe even bringing the bottom hand up towards your heart. It takes the recruitment of the lowest abdominal muscles to make that balance happen. Yeah, breath. Feet to the mat. Shake it out a little bit. Eagle pose, left side, left arm under, left leg over. Coil into center. Long strips of muscle wrapping in and around your bones to support the shape of the pose. Arms stay bound, airplane with your legs. There's time for the transition, especially in the balance poses. There's always time. Arms stay bound, press them forward a little bit. Full airplane, reach them back and stretch out. Beautiful, love the breath. Keep that going. Half moon, right hand down, left hand up to the sky. When there's an integration of all of the muscles working together, nobody's overworking. No muscle group is overworking. It's a unit that's working together. Light on the bottom fingertips or let them float up towards your chest. Last breath. Feet to the mat. Good work. Standing bow or dancer's pose, right side. Soft crease of the elbow faces out so you can grab the inside of your ankle for standing bow. Strap if you're taking dancers. Take your pose. We're going to work that neutral pelvis in this pose as well. So work on squaring your hips down towards the floor. Oftentimes it'll throw your balance a little bit because you're bringing that right hip closer down towards the mat. Just do it in increments, little piece at a time. Little bit by little bit. Good. One more inhale. Press. Switch sides. Standing board dancers, left side. If you found it pretty challenging to square your hips, start up a little bit higher to square your hips and then tip forward into the pose. So you've got room to notice, okay, now my hip is starting to open. I'm going to stop there and work right there. Because it's still the same pose when the pose is up higher. It gives you more room to integrate and neutralize the pelvis. Beautiful adjustments. Yeah, one more inhale. Right side, second set. Same attention to the pelvis. If you need to start up higher, do that. Square hips, neutral pelvis, and then tip forward. This could be your new thing that you stick into your practice. You're paying attention to a neutral pelvis. It'll transform all of your postures. Just that one thing that you're putting attention on. Last breath, switch. One more time, left side. Go for the neutral pelvis. If your brain is starting to creep in, going, well, that's not as much of the pose because you're not tipping all the way forward. Just let that be in the background. You pay attention to your pelvis and lifting the front of it up to your belly button. Nice. Last breath. Feet to the mat. Tree pose, right side. Any variation of tree pose you'd like to take tonight. Any combination of arm variations, leg variations, you choose. Now everyone work together to create breath. Make it a pulse in the room, something that Ratana can hear when she's practicing at home. Something that people can sync up with who are taking this practice later in the week, later in the month. Switch sides, left side tree. Eyes on one spot. Steady, full breathing. More room in your chest and your upper back now. Now that things are more pliable, sweat is happening, heat is happening. Good. Big inhale. Lift. Both feet to the mat. Extended mountain. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side triangle. Step your right foot between your hands. You can set up that block on the outside of your shin or drop your bottom hand down to your front shin. Lots of breathing here. Now's the time for you to check back in and really see how much of your exhales you can send through your legs and into the floor. Different from earlier in the practice where you were standing on your feet. Now you come back and have more of a curiosity around feet in the floor. You can take it to a back bend and open up your chest toward the ceiling a little more if you want. Now you might take the block a little further back. Good. Press into your feet. Rise up to standing. Side facing wide leg fold. Ninja lunges. Bend your right knee and sink into your right hip. Over into the left knee and into the left hip. Side to side, you set your own pace. Set a pace that you can match with your breathing. And those of you that are getting pretty close to the floor, which is a lot of you at this point, see if you can stay low to the floor as you cross from one side to the other. So rather than coming up high in the middle and then back down to the side, can you stay low as you go side to side? That would be the next step. Ooh, I know. That's a different space. Staying low, going through the center. You've got another breath or two to explore that space, get complete. Meet up in center, rise up to standing. Splits facing the front of the mat. So you've got an option to work the full split or just do a half split. For half split, your left knee will be on the ground, right leg straight out in front. Block, 1 or 2 of them is super helpful. So if you're working on the half split, long straight leg in front, toes up to the ceiling. Keep a little bit of a micro bend in that front knee so the stretch can stay in the body of the muscle on the backside of your leg. Those of you working your way into the full split, maybe you slip forward a little bit more. Good. Toes up to the ceiling. No, not right now. I'm not doing. I got to demonstrate the other piece of that, Philomena. I'll let you slide into the full split. All right, now from here, can you lift the front of your pelvis up to your belly button? Yeah, up to the belly button. 2 more breaths here, half split or full. Deep breath in, exhale and lift the front of the pelvis up. Good, 1 more. Pull in and lift. High to low push up. Swing that leg around. Make your way to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in, a full breath out. Left side triangle, left foot between your hands. Start with the foundation of the pose. Feet not only touching the mat, but in the mat. Big toe mounds, that joint right behind your toe. Press that into the floor. So even though you've got those 4 corners of your feet working into the ground, your toes can be soft. They can lift and spread off of the mat. Yeah, beautiful. From there, you can open up. Take your chest open if you haven't already. Lots of space. Press into both feet, rise up to standing. Side facing wide leg fold. You've got 2 options on this side. You can take a bind at your low back and spill forward to stretch your shoulders, or you can take an inversion. So that might be a fold, that might be a headstand, that might be a basket headstand that you're working on. So you choose the bind or an inversion. Steady breathing the entire time. So you can pay attention to the detail and what's going on in this particular pose. Squeeze your elbows together a little more, Bob, into center. Yes, there you go. And then you'll need to catch it in the pit of your belly to balance that out when the elbows come in. Beautiful. Soften your toes, those of you with the binds. Release your hands down. Inversions make your way down. Rise up to standing. Splits facing the front edge of your mat. Left leg out this time. Either right knee down. You can slide forward as you make your way into the full split. It helps to start at the top, not all the way in the pose just yet, and then lift the front of the pelvis up. See how far you can go before that starts to spill forward. Toes up to the ceiling, left toes up. Little bit of softness to the left knee. Keep that going. Oh, yes. Good. Front of the pelvis, up, up, up. 2 more breaths here. In. Full exhale. Last one. In. Stay for the exhale. Pull everything in and up. Make your way to downward facing dog. You can step straight back or vinyasa your way there. And we'll all meet up in downward facing. Take a full breath in. Clear it out. Breath in. Breath out. Last one. Fill. Empty it out. Roll out to a high plank. Stack your shoulders right on top of your wrists. So you've got 2 options here. You can hold the plank or you can work on jump switches. So the legs and the muscles in your hips are nice and warm and ready for this. A jump switch would look like this. So you have your right foot in front and switch to your left foot in front. Right foot in front, left foot in front. The goal is to keep your hips as low as possible as you're moving from one leg to the other. So plank or jump switches for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way to the mat. Locust pose is next. Reach your arms back by your hips and peel yourself up and away from the floor. Long stretch from crown to toes. Go for length and then squeeze your inner thighs together in a way that you don't need to really squeeze your glutes to lift your legs. It's the muscle of your powerful legs that holds that shape. 1 more breath. Lower down. Rock your hips out left and right. Locust or Superman. Superman, you can reach your arms out in front. Locust, keep them where they are. Length, the front of the pelvis, it up towards your belly button, even here. So it may not come off the ground, but there's a sense of lift and lightness there. Good. 1 more breath in. Lower down. Take it side to side. Floor bone number 1 of 2. Bend your knees and grab your ankles. Rise up and away from the mat. Press your shins straight back behind you. Flex your ankles and send those feet all the way up to the ceiling. The soles of your feet straight up to the ceiling. 1 more breath. Lower down. Take it side to side. You got it. Number 2, floor bow. Switch legs or grab both ankles again and go up. Big, full space. That long line stretching from your knees all the way up to your chin. Flex the ankles and press your feet up to the ceiling. 1 more breath. Lower down. Take it side to side. Upward facing dog. Rise up off your mat. Downward facing dog. Press back. Jump through to sit. Come down onto your back for bridge pose. You got it. We're almost there. Getting into the peak pose of your sequence here. Press down and rise up. Bridge pose. You can clasp your hands underneath you or take a different arm variation that works better for your shoulders, but press your shoulders straight back into the mat. Down into the mat as much as you press your feet down into the mat. Big breath in here. Lower your hips. Take your knees left and right. Bridge number 2, press, lift, go. Rise up and away from the mat. Steady, powerful breath. Bring your right knee into your chest. Press your right foot up to the sky. You can keep the leg long and straight or pulse your hips up to the ceiling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs, left knee in. Press the left foot up to the sky. Stay or pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Knees side to side. All right, yogis, it's time. Stick with bridge or move on to wheel. Wheel number 1, tuck your fingertips under your shoulders and rise up and away from the mat. Big, full, open space across the entire front side of your body. Then lower down. Breath in, breath out. Number 2, press, lift, go. If you're sticking in bridge, squeeze your inner thighs together like you're holding a block there and you don't want to drop it. Lower down. Breath in, breath out. Number 3, press and go. A rinse and repeat. You take the pose, see what there is to see. Take it again, see what there is. Come on down. Breath in, breath out. Bridge or wheel, press and go. Fingertips and feet fully integrated into the foundation of your pose. Tuck your chin and lower. Breath in together. Breath out together. One more bridge, 1 more wheel. Press, lift, go. Up and away from the mat. Stay up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Oh, yeah. Hands wherever you need to put your hands. Wherever they feel best. Happy baby or dead bug. whole spine down on the mat as best you can. Legs straight up in the air. Hands either behind your head or under your glutes for more support. Glue the inner edges of your legs together. Lower both legs down 30 degrees. Lower them 60. Flex your ankles. Good. Lower to hover. Flutter kick your feet. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs straight up. Reset. Belly down to the mat. Shoulders down to the mat. Lower 30. Lower 60. Lower to hover. Open and close the legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs back up. Oh, you got it. Low back down to the mat. Resettle. Last set. Lower 30. Lower 60. Lower to hover. Tiny circles with the feet. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the legs, knees into your chest. Oh, that extra 5 seconds is murderous sometimes. Rock forward and back 3 times. Come up into boat pose. Boat pose. Stick it. Sit bones straight down into the mat. Lift and spread your chest. Even here, can you get that sense of the front of the pelvis lifting up to your belly button and integrating into your core? One more inhale. Exhale, squeeze, downward facing dog. Oh boy. Good stuff. Building a nice strong container for all that space you've made. Right side half pigeon, right knee to right wrist. Right knee to right wrist. If you're taking the pose on your back, you can certainly do that in a figure 4 with your right leg crossed over your left thigh. Maintain that sense of integration with the pelvis. You've been doing a lot of work with that to keep it neutral. Lift the front of the pelvis up to your belly button here. It's a great piece to work with when you're trying to build in the sthira sukha in the poses, the strength and the ease, the balance between those two things. So while you work the integration of a neutral pelvis into this half pigeon, where can you create more ease somewhere else in your body? Where would more space be helpful? For your last few breaths, you can stay where you are in half pigeon or take king pigeon. For king pigeon, you'll walk yourself up, bend your back knee, and grab a hold of your back ankle. Back ankle or your back foot, whichever you can grab a hold of. The front of the pelvis up to the belly button, nice and neutral. Downward facing dog, shake it out. Left side half pigeon. Very common to just kind of let everything spill towards the floor when you're facing down on this pose. Can you gather it back in and maintain the container? If you're taking the pose on your back, can you gather it in and down towards the floor? Steady rhythmic breath. Use the breath to find the tight spot in your body so you can breathe into it and create more space there. Balance of Sukha Sthira. Stay or king pigeon. Plenty of work to open the front of your hips, to create space to lift the front of your pelvis if you're taking that king pigeon. Downward facing dog. Make your way through to sit. Seated single leg extension is next. Right leg out, left heel in towards your right thigh. Melt forward. Just maybe, since you've been putting extra attention on it, you can get your sit bones back behind you, Godzilla, rather than having them tucked underneath you. Yeah, that could be rocking side to side to untuck the sit bones, or using one hand and manually untucking your sit bones. Yeah, get them out of the way. And what that does is free up space in your low back so that you can fold more deeply. Switch sides, left leg out, right heel in. Melt over that extended leg. Toes up to the ceiling, a little bit of softness in your left knee, if not a lot of softness. And then notice, is there more room to untuck your sit bones? Can you walk them back a little bit further? Seated forward fold, both legs out. Hinge at your hips. Steady breath. That'll help soften the back line of your body so it can ease its way forward little bit by little bit. And tabletop or reverse plank. Plant your palms behind your hips. Fingertips face the front edge of your mat and rise up. Long legs for the planks, bent knees for the tabletops. And if dropping your head back doesn't feel great for your neck, just keep your chin tucked and look down the front side of your body so your neck can stay nice and long. One more breath. Lift your hips, lower down. Come down onto your back and let's get upside down. One last opportunity. Waterfall, shoulder stand, any type of headstand, handstand work you want to do, now is the time. Your last opportunity. If you're working on that shoulder stand, put your attention on walking your elbows closer together behind you. Yeah, in the same way that you were inching your sit bones away from you a moment before, now you're inching those elbows closer together behind you to create a more stable base. And you might find that there's room to move your legs around or take ankle circles, like there's some type of movement that now has more space or that feels a little lighter because your lower body is stacked and the foundation is set. Headstands and handstands, another breath or two, and then you can make your way back down. Shoulder stands to plow if you're not there already. Long legs in your plow pose. Plow to deaf yogi. Bend your knees and hug them along the sides of your head. Let your spine round forward towards the front of the room. Slowly unravel, piece by piece, bone by bone. Hug your knees into your chest and give them a squeeze when you get there. Supine twist to the right. Drop your knees one way. Twist and look the other way. Melt both of your shoulder blades down into the mat, even if that means your top knee's floating a little bit, that's fine. Shoulder blades on the mat. Switch sides. Supine twist the other way. Shoulder blades down into the floor. Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet to touch one last time. Press them into one another. Shavasana. If you're in studio, you've got your eye towel by the upper corner of the mat. Stretch yourself out nice and long. Legs take up space, arms out by your side. Take one last breath in. Fill yourself up and up and up. Exhale it out. Let your entire body rest easy on your mat. Deepen your breath. Bring some movement back into your hands and your feet. And plant your feet on the floor and rock onto your right side. And with your eyes still closed, press down and rise up. Take a comfortable seat. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. We'll finish our practice together with 3 final ohms. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Thank you all so much coming into the studio, signing in online, and making a nice sweaty practice happen tonight. Namaste. Good work, everybody. Eye towels, and if you borrowed any straps, can go in the laundry basket outside the door. If anyone has questions about the workshops or the special class that we're doing on New Year's Day, let me know and I can get you on those rosters. Have an awesome rest of your week.